जय यशोदानन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय जमुनधीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय राधमाधव जय कुञ्जविहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, Manifestation of Brahmā from Vishnu. And today we will see two texts 18 and text 19. Both the texts have small purport, but interesting purports, of course. And text 19 is on board. Okay. So before getting into the text, we'll chant the auspicious invocation prayers. We'll chant, please try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Sukhamukatamrita dravasamyutam Pivata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvibhavakaha Narayanam namaskritya Naranchaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So first I will read text 18 and the translation and purport, then we'll go to text 19. Kaye shayosau aham abja-pṛṣṭha etat kuto vābjam ananyad apsu asti adhastād kiñcanaitad adhiṣṭhitaṁ yatra satā bhāvyam. Lord Brahmā in his ignorance contemplated, who am I that I am situated on top of this lotus? Wherefrom has it sprouted? There must be something downward, and that from which this lotus has grown must be within the water. Purport. The subject matter of the speculations of Brahmā in the beginning regarding the creation of cosmic manifestation is still a subject matter for mental speculators. The most intelligent man is he who tries to find the cause of his personal existence and that of the whole cosmic creation, and thus tries to find the ultimate cause. If his attempts is properly executed with penance and perseverance, it is sure to be crowned with success. So now we have today's verse. Sayittam udvikshya tadabjanala Sayittam udvikshya tadabjanala Nadhibir antarjalam avishesha Nadhibir antarjalam avishesha Narva gatastat kharanala Narva gatastat kharanala Nabhim vichinvam stat avindataja Nabhin vichinvam stat avindataja Sayittam udvikshya tadabjanala Nadhibir antarjalam avishesha Narva gatastat kharanala Nabhin vichinvam stat avindataja Sayittam udvikshya tadabjanala Nadhibir antarjalam avishesha Narva gatastat kharanala Nabhim vichinvam stat avindataja Sayitam budvikshya tadabdanala Nadidir antarjalam avivesha Narvagatastat karanala nala Nabhin vichinvam stat avindataja Sayitam udvikshyatarabjanala Nadibhirantarjalam avivesha Narvagastatkaranala Nabhim vichinvam stat avindataja Sayitam budvikshyatarabjanala Nadibhirantarjalamavivesha Nabhim vichinvam stat avindatajaha. Matajis. Sayitam budvikshyatarabjanala Nadibhirantarjalamavivesha Narvagatastat-karanala Nabhin vichinvam stat avindataja Sayitam budvikshyatarabjanala Nadibhirantarjalamavivesha Narvagatastat-karanala Nabhin vichinvam stat avindataja Saha he, Brahma, itam, in this way, udvikshya, contemplating, tad, that, abja, lotus, nala, stem, nadibhihi, by the pipe, antah jalam, within the water, avivesha, entered into, not, arvagataha, in spite of going inside, tat karanala, stem of the lotus, nala, pipe, nabhim, of the navel, which in one thinking much of it, tat, that, avindata, understood, ajaha, the self-born. Translation, please repeat. Lord Brahma, thus contemplating, entered the water through the channel of the stem of the lotus. But in spite of entering the stem and going nearer to the navel of Vishnu, he could not trace out the root. Purport. By the dint of one's personal endeavor, one may go nearer to the Lord, but without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. Such understanding of the Lord is possible only by devotional service, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Bhaktya mam vijanati yavanyachasmi tattvataha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gunave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaitya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangalangayate grimit kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukram bhavet vismrite pritam syat Sri Chaitanyam namamitam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramattarine Hare Krishna. So, we are in a very interesting phase in this narration of creation. So, Brahma has appeared after all the discussion about the universal form and so many different demigods and that, this, etc., etc. Now, finally, now we have Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, this lotus has come out, and in that lotus, the first born living entity, Brahma, he has appeared. Now, Brahma, naturally sitting on the lotus, he is thinking, where am I? What am I doing? And how did I come here? What is my business? All these things he is thinking. Then he is making some endeavor to find answer to these questions. So Prabhupada makes a very pertinent observation here that from the beginning of creation till today, this is the search of all the mental speculators. So today also our great scientists, they are throwing telescope after telescope on the space, and they say that, okay, previous telescope was not so powerful, this telescope is more powerful, so we can catch the cosmic rays which actually were there in the beginning of creation, but that has still not reached the earth. So we can catch them with this telescope, we can analyze the cosmic rays and the spectrum, and we'll find what is the source of creation. Okay. Of course, throwing a telescope in sky is not so easy. It's a multi-billion-dollar endeavor. And then they have to, what is happening? Closer. Okay. So, throwing a telescope in the sky is not a very easy subject matter. It's a multi-billion-dollar endeavor. You have to spend so much money to throw some telescope in the sky, and then try to have many scientists who have studied the subject matter of cosmos for many years, again pay them millions of dollars, engage them in research, then some ground station to capture what we are seeing from there, and then do some research to find what is this creation. So it's a very costly affair to find that what is the subject matter of creation. But it is a very simple affair to understand that what is the purpose of creation. It's not very costly to understand this. The simple affair is that we want to be happy. That is the simple affair. Okay. You don't have to spend millions of dollars to understand this simple point that in this whole creation we are trying to be happy. It's a very simple point. It's not even every person, he knows that I am trying to be happy in this creation. And everyone is looking for a certain quality of happiness. That everyone is looking for. What is that quality of happiness? The quality of happiness is that the happiness should be ever increasing. This first quality of happiness we are looking for, ever increasing. And the second quality of happiness we are looking for is that it should be multiple variety. If we have the same happiness which is ever increasing, not very interesting for us. Like suppose today you get 1 gulab jamun, tomorrow you will get 2, day after tomorrow you will get 3, and then as number of days goes by you will get one more gulab jamun. It's not very interesting because then you get fed up of gulab jamun. What is the use of this, 100,000 gulab jamun? What is the use? What will you do with 100,000 gulab jamun? Now I want gulab jamun, I want rasgulla, I want some bati chachri, I want something namkeen, something this. Different type of taste is there. Chaturvidasri bhagavad-pṛṣṭho swadanna triptan haribhakta sangha. So we want something to suck, we want something to lick, we want something to chew. Like that we want different varieties of prasadam. So therefore Prabhupada said variety is the mother of happiness. So that is also another thing we are looking for. And we are looking this happiness to be constant. We don't want any break in this happiness. We want constant happiness. We don't want this happiness to be broken or interfered in between, that sometimes there is happiness, sometimes there is distress. We don't want this business, that sometime happiness, sometime distress. Nobody likes it. But we have accepted it because that's how it is. We experience sometime happiness, sometime distress. But when we experience sometime happiness, sometime distress, then we understand that happiness is also distress only, because if we have continuous distress, then it's okay. We can say, okay, this is how it is. It's always distress. We can get used to it. But sometime happiness and sometime distress, then it makes the happiness also worse, because again you have a new distress. What is the distress? You are expecting when the next happiness is going to come. That expectation of the next happiness is a form of distress, because you are going through distress, and then you have to write some poetry. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Then you should do all these things and then try to see when happiness is going to come. Okay. So therefore, the very feeling that everyone has, every intelligent being has this feeling that I should be happy. So that's why Prabhupada said, when Prabhupada was asked what is the purpose of human life, Prabhupada said the purpose of human life is to be happy. Now how to be happy? So there are two ways to be happy. One way of being happy is to control everything and adjust everything in such a way that you can be happy. This is the way modern science is trying. That you try to control everything and you adjust everything in such a way that you can be happy. So therefore, you should know the nature of things so that you can control it. So therefore, you should study nature of everything. You should study nature of everything. You should study, put some telescope on the sky and try to find out how the world is created, so that the world cannot be destroyed. You can stop destruction of this world. So all these things you have to do to actually control everything, so that you can be enjoyer. So that you can be enjoyer. But that is a very difficult method of doing, because from the beginning of creation, starting from Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu to today, eṣaḥ, NASA, and what is that? India also has something. ISRO, eṣaḥ, NASA, and each country has its own agencies. Everybody is trying to do this. Everybody is racing. There is a race to go to moon. There is a race to go to Mars. There is a race to explore the universe. They sent one lady to and one man to space and now they don't know how to get them back. Now they are scratching their head. Oh, now they are there, how to get them back. So many things are happening. So many things are happening. But at the same time, we see that this endeavor is constantly happening and it is constantly failing. Like Ravana, he wanted to have a staircase to heaven. So he said, okay, let me build a staircase. Just go on the staircase and you can reach heaven. So everybody has their idea how to find eternal happiness. Okay. So then the Shastra is also telling that this is a good question to ask. Om atato Brahma jigyasa. How to find eternal happiness? This is a very good question to ask because everybody has this feeling that we should be happy. So how to find eternal happiness? It's a good question to ask. So this is where Vedanta Sutra starts. But Vedanta Sutra also puts one very interesting observation. What is that observation? That observation is ataha. Ataha means therefore. What does that therefore indicate? That therefore indicates that you have exhausted all means of finding happiness to the limit of your intelligence. This is that meaning of that therefore. That you have exhausted all means of finding happiness to the limit of your intelligence. And the limit of intelligence is explained by the four purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So to the limit of this intelligence which is offered by the four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama and moksha, you have tried everything. Karma, vikarma, everything you have tried. And you are unable to find happiness. So this is the first condition, ataha. Then there is a next condition which is ataha. What is that? You found a person who is actually experiencing that happiness. So this is very interesting. Now you are trying to experience a certain type of happiness and you are not able to experience that happiness, and you have tried till the limit of your intelligence to find that happiness and you are not able to find, and here is this fellow, he is actually enjoying this happiness. Where did he come from? The question comes, where did he come from? How does he enjoy this happiness which I have been looking for? How is he enjoying this happiness? Then what is the most logical thing to do? To go and ask him, sir, how are you enjoying this happiness? Can you please tell me? I have been trying to find this happiness for a long time. I don't seem to get it. You seem to have it. Can you please tell me? This is called Brahma Jigyasa. That you go and ask him. Go and ask him. That how you are able to experience which I am unable to experience. How are you able to do it? Okay. Now, who is the person who is actually experiencing that happiness? This is the most important question. Who is the person who is actually experiencing that happiness? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am that person who is actually experiencing that happiness. Bhoktaram ekatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim rachati. Says that everybody is endeavoring, everybody is doing some penance, everybody is doing some tapasya. Prabhupada actually was talking to one person who was actually a mining engineer. He was a mining engineer. And then he was very happily saying that I am a mining engineer. I go inside the earth, I put tunnel, and then we take out things from earth. And Prabhupada was telling that, you see what education has done. Education has put this fellow like a rat inside the earth. This is the modern education it has done. And he is quite happy about it. He is quite happy about it. Few times I mentioned also that I was working in one company in Dubai, and that company built the tallest tower in the world. Till now it is the tallest tower in the world. And one of the biggest problem we had was how to bring the human stool from the top floor bathroom to the ground floor. So it's a big problem to make research on how to bring stool from there to town. Why can't you pass stool in the ground floor and beat that with? No, I have to build the tallest tower and I should make one toilet there. And on that toilet I should pass stool. Then I feel I am the stool passer on the top of the earth. And then I should try to bring it down. So many engineers working on how to do this, how to cut the velocity of the stool, so that it comes very safely and lands without damaging the building. You see, nonsense. You see, nonsense. We are actually engaged in nonsense. We are actually engaged in nonsense. And we think that we are doing great work. We think that we are doing great work. And when we finally solve the stool transport problem, we think, oh, this is great. We solved the problem, we cracked it. But just by transferring stool from 100 floor plus to ground floor, we are not going to solve the problem of human life. Nor it is going to give us eternal happiness that, okay, we brought stool from top to down, now we can be eternally happy. It's not possible to be eternally happy like that. But it requires a lot of endeavor. It requires a lot of endeavor. It requires a lot of tapasya. It requires a lot of endeavor. It requires so many things so much of application of brain, so many equation and hydrology, this, pneumatics, so many things you have to put inside to bring that stool from top to down. So there is yajna and tapas in everything. In everything. And why it is done? It is done to think that by doing this I can be happy. But practically, Krishna is happy. Practically, Krishna is happy. He's saying, Bhaktaram eke tapasam. I am the enjoyer of all the penance and all the sacrifice. And then, next thing what he says, okay, sarvalokam maheshwaram. I am the one controlling everything. I am the one who is controlling everything. We are trying to control everything, but Krishna declares, I am the one who is controlling everything. Everybody is under my control. Everybody is under my control. I rule. I am the controller. Sarvalokam maheshwaram. Okay, now he rules, he is the controller. So now, normally we see in this material world, the person who is very powerful, he either favors one party or another party. This is normally we see. Now this world is full of disturbance. Currently, the world situation is full of disturbance. In every country, there is some sort of disturbance going on in this world. Everywhere there is violence, there is rioting, there is so much things happening. Why? Is one set of leaders prefer one set of people, another set of leaders prefer another set of people. So there is all constant clash between this set of people and that set of people, sometime in the name of economics, sometime in the name of religion, sometime in the name of ideology, but constantly there is clash. So power comes with favoritism. So control and power comes with favoritism, because that is how control and power is exercised in this material world. That you keep a coterie of people and you become their leader, you control them, and then you have some philosophy, and then whatever it is, money, philosophy, whatever works, you have a group with you and you become controller of that group. This is how it works in the material world. So, but Krishna is the supreme controller and he is the natural controller. We are all artificial controllers. So therefore, in order to artificially exercise control, we need these methods. Samadana, Beda, Danda. This is explained in Arthashastra, that how a king can control everybody, Samadana, Beda and Danda. So we need these techniques to control everyone. So then naturally, we are well-wisher of somebody, we are not so much well-wisher of some other person who is against us, and then we are thinking that, oh, how to destroy this guy, he is my enemy, I should do something to him. So therefore, naturally the world is full of violence. The world is full of violence. But Krishna says, I am the natural controller and I am the natural well-wisher. Sugrutam sarvabhutanam. Sugrutam sarvabhutanam. That he is the natural well-wisher of everybody. So therefore, Krishna is that person who is actually experiencing that happiness. Now Krishna is thinking like that. That I am the person who is naturally experiencing that happiness. Thinking like that. Then somebody is coming and disturbing that thought process also. They are telling Krishna, Krishna, you are thinking like that, but you don't know what we are experiencing. We are experiencing something more than you. Then Krishna is thinking, hey, what is this? I am supposed to be the supreme enjoyer. I am supposed to be the supreme controller. I am supposed to be the supreme well-wisher. I made such bold statement in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktaram ekatapasam sarvaloka maheswaram, all that in 5th chapter it is there. This lady has not read that. She is coming and telling me, you don't know what we are experiencing. What is this? Then she explains that this is what we are experiencing when we actually love you. Then Krishna develops that greed to experience what they are experiencing. Vethi lobhat. He said that. He actually became very greedy to experience what Srimati Radharani is experiencing. So therefore, the Lord himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the supreme enjoyer. Why he is the supreme enjoyer? Because Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, nahi anya. So he is experiencing both. He is Krishna and he is also experiencing the mood and mellows of Srimati Radharani. So he has best of both the worlds. He has his cake and he is eating it too. He is the only person who can do it, to have his cake and eat it too. None of us can do it. But he is doing it. He is there. He comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he eats the cake. He is Krishna. He has the cake. So he has the cake and he eats it too. So therefore, the real person to inquire how to be happy is a person who actually follows Lord Chaitanya. So this is the secret of Vedanta Sutra. That who is the correct person to make this inquiry? That whom we should ask that how to be happy. You have to ask the most qualified person who knows exactly how to be happy. Nothing is left out of his syllabus. Everything is there in his syllabus. In Krishna's syllabus, something is left out. What is that? That it is left out that he doesn't know how Radharani is enjoying in his service. So that lesson is not there in Krishna's syllabus. So that is left out in his syllabus. So we need everything. So who has everything? Lord Chaitanya has everything. So one who follows Lord Chaitanya, he is the best person to explain how to be happy. Therefore, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, they are the greatest exponents of the philosophy of happiness. And when one is fortunate to get their association, and when one is fortunate to make inquiries to them, then one's life becomes successful. Today, we have two such acharyas whose disappearance day is there. One is Raghunandan Thakur, the other one is Vamshidas Babaji. Here, Krishna is saying, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yachasmi tattvataha. That you please understand about me from my devotees. So Krishna doesn't say that you please understand about me from me. He can say no. Krishna can say that. Who is the best person to tell about himself? He himself is the best person to tell about himself. So Krishna can say that you understand about me from me. No, he doesn't say that, because Krishna knows something in my syllabus is missing. So therefore Krishna says, bhaktya mam abhi janati. That you go to my devotee, you can actually understand what I am. Bhaktya mam abhi janati. So therefore, the life and the activities of the great acharyas, it is worth discussing and it is worth understanding, so that we can answer this most frustrating question. What is that frustrating question? Who am I? Why am I living in this particular place? In the case of Brahmā, that happens to be the lotus, where everything has manifested from. So in case of Brahmā, only lotus is there, therefore he is asking where this lotus has manifested from. There must be something downward from which the lotus has grown, and that must be within the water. So to find our source of happiness is the most frustrating question, to find the source of our happiness. So that question needs to be answered, and to answer that question, we have to actually observe the life of these great devotees. And especially Raghunandan, he is mentioned as the 39th branch of the tree of Lord Chaitanya. He and his father. And very interesting conversation. His father is Mukunda. And very interesting conversation is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, where Mahaprabhu is asking Mukunda, "Oh Mukunda, you have come, very good, very nice. You have come with your son Raghunandan, this is even nice. Now please tell me, are you the father of Raghunandan, or is Raghunandan your father?" What is this question? He is asking this question to him. Are you the father of Raghunandan, or is Raghunandan your father? If you clearly tell me, then my doubt will go away. He is asking him. But it is very clear that Mukunda is the father and Raghunandan is the son. But Mahaprabhu is asking him, who is the father, who is the son? And then he gives reply. Mukunda, he gives reply. He is saying, undoubtedly Raghunandan is my father and I am his son. He is replying, he is my father, I am his son. Then he explains that because of his devotion, we all have become devotees of Krishna. And Prabhupada says in the purport that one who gives Krishna consciousness, he is the father. One who gives Krishna consciousness, he is the father. Because the father is meant to protect the son. This is the very nature of being father. The father is meant to protect the son. The father is meant to take care of the son. And the father is meant to give the happiness for the son. So, the Supreme Father is Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, and one who understands the devotion of Lord Chaitanya and one who is a true follower of Lord Chaitanya, then he can give this everything. And here, Raghunandan is glorified by his own father because his own father saw what his son was. He told his son, you just offer this laddu to the deity and then, because I am not able to do it today, you offer. So this boy also goes and he tells Gopal, hey Gopal, my father told you please eat laddu, but Gopal is not eating. So the boy becomes very upset. Hey Gopal, you are not eating, what is this? My father will chastise me if you don't eat. He is crying, and Gopal is thinking, what is this guy? He doesn't understand, I am deity, I cannot eat. But this boy doesn't understand. He says, Gopal, hey, eat. So Gopal thinks, okay, now what can I do? Then he eats the laddu. Everything is finished. Then father comes, he is asking, where is the laddu? The son is confused. He is confused. Hey, you told me to offer laddu to the Lord. Lord ate laddu. Now you are asking, where is the laddu? What is this? What is this? It's a very, very interesting incident. It's a very interesting incident. This incident has some deep connection with our own first generation and second generation. It's a very deep connection with this, our own first generation and second generation. Sometimes we see that children of devotees struggle to take up Krishna consciousness. You see that? Children of devotees struggle to take up Krishna consciousness. Why they struggle to take up Krishna consciousness? Because they become very confused with their parents. Their parents tell their children that Krishna consciousness is your priority. But they themselves don't act like that. So children are confused. They are thinking, the father and mother are saying that Krishna consciousness is my priority, but they themselves are acting as if everything else is their priority. So now what I am supposed to do? I am supposed to understand whether Krishna consciousness is my priority, or I am supposed to say that Krishna consciousness is my priority and then do everything else. So this is a classic confusion. So the same confusion was there. Father is telling, you offer the laddu to the deity, and son is thinking, okay, if I offer, he has to eat, because he thinks that this deity is the Supreme Lord, which is correct. Pratima nahitami sakshat Rajendra Nandan. This is in the Sakshi Gopal pastime is coming. That you are Krishna, so you have to eat. So because of that faith, Krishna also eats. Now father is coming and asking for laddu. Where is the laddu? Now the son is confused. He is supposed to eat, or I am supposed to give laddu to my father? So then he says, Krishna ate. Now father is also confused. My son doesn't lie, but he is saying Krishna ate. Now it's nature of children to be naughty. So he ate and he is telling Krishna ate. So he is saying, okay, then he gives next day, okay, you offer. And he is hiding, seeing what is happening. And Krishna also very chalak. He ate half laddu just to show that, man, I eat laddus. And then he stopped eating. He became deity. He stopped eating with half laddu in his hand. So, therefore, the point is that the subject matter of how to be happy is a very intricate subject matter. Even though it looks as if that it is a simple subject matter, but it's a very intricate subject matter. Now let us add more twist to this whole story. And one time, because there are two personalities we are talking about. We spoke about one personality. Now we have to speak about another personality, which is Vamsidas Babaji. So one time, one devotee, he asked Vamsidas Babaji that how to achieve Bhagavad Prema. Then Vamsidas Babaji said, weep. He said, one word answer, weep. He gave one word answer, weep. Now, we thought that we have to come to Krishna consciousness to be happy. Now, Vamsidas Babaji is saying, you weep. Now, general understanding is that when we are very sad, we weep. So, are we meant to be happy, or are we meant to be sad? Are we meant to be laughing, or are we meant to be weeping? Now, this is a very complicated question. But he said, you have to weep. Now come to Prabhupada. Prabhupada is saying, when he explains the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhupada gives exactly the same point. Prabhupada says, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be like a genuine cry of a child for the mother. Prabhupada did not say chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be like a cry of a child for mother. Because child has different types of cry. Every child has different types of cry. So the child cries for different reasons, and each time the child cries is a different type of cry. But those various types of cry does not attract the attention of the mother. The mother is okay, this fellow is crying for some time, he will be all right. But the genuine cry of the child, immediately attracts the attention of the mother. The mother goes running to the child to actually see what has happened. So therefore, Prabhupada says that the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be like the genuine cry of a child. So, why should we cry if you are meant to be happy? Why should we cry? This is the most complicated subject matter, because we said that Lord Chaitanya is the embodiment of the supreme happiness. But Lord Chaitanya is also crying. So how come the embodiment of supreme happiness is crying? The embodiment of supreme happiness is crying because the supreme happiness is in crying. So therefore, Vamshidas Babaji, he explained with one word the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy: weep. Weep. So there are many reasons, there are many levels, many reasons to weep. Of course, everybody weeps at some point or other, but they weep for the body. They weep for the body. Like in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Arjuna was weeping in the beginning, in the Pandavas retire timely chapter. Almost half the chapter Arjuna is weeping. Oh, Krishna passed away. He's weeping, weeping, weeping. And then, after weeping for a long time, many shlokas, he stops himself and he's thinking, why am I weeping? And then he actually remembers Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita. And when he remembers Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita, he understands I am simply weeping for the body. So therefore, he becomes very peaceful. He stops weeping, he becomes very peaceful. Then he thinks of Krishna, goes back home, back to Godhead. Is explained there. So, normally we are weeping for this body. So we should stop weeping for this body. And the genuine cry starts when we actually start weeping, why did we accept this body? This is the beginning of the genuine cry. That why did we accept this body? What am I and what I have done to myself? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tavapada pankaja sthitaduli sadrisham vichintaya. But in order to come to this stage, there are 4 stages which are previous to this stage. The stage where we actually cry, understanding why did we accept this body. Before that, we have to understand that this body is actually useless. And any endeavor which is done through this body is also useless. Both the things we need to understand, that simply being in bodily conception and doing different endeavors in bodily conception through this body is useless. But when the same body is utilized, when the same endeavors are directed according to the follower of Lord Chaitanya, a pure devotee who is a follower of Lord Chaitanya, who is a spiritual master, who is the acharya, then this body becomes very useful, because we are actually utilizing this body to get that happiness which we want. So, therefore, great acharyas, they actually appeared in our middle, in our midst, and they lived their life in different ways. Like Vamshidas Babaji's life was very, very different. He was just wearing a kaupin and he was living. And when someone asked him why are you just simply wearing a kaupin, he said that outer cloth means identification with external energy. Of course, we cannot do that. We cannot have that kind of activity, or we cannot have that kind of